And you're welcome back. Ghana's parliament was adjourned indefinitely amid a legal dispute over Speaker Alban Bagbin's decision to declare 4 parliamentary seats vacant. The move has effectively halted all legislative activities just weeks before the country's general election, potentially delaying the passage of key bills and budget approvals. The adjournment followed a standoff between the ruling New Patriotic Party, NPP, and the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, which holds a narrow majority after 4 lawmakers defected. At the center of the dispute is Ghana's constitutional rule, which prohibits MPs from defecting from the party they were elected under to run for another party or as independents. The vacant seats include 2 from the NPP, 1 from the NDC, and 1 independent MP. And now to discuss this, we're joined by Africa Affairs analyst David Osabutey. David, it's good to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. How does the Speaker's decision to declare seats vacant affect the balance of power in Parliament, especially if the affected MPs belong to key political parties or constituencies?
Yes, hi, and good evening for having me on the show. So just a bit of context, you know that the 8th Parliament of Ghana started on a very volatile note. What I mean by that, the ruling MPP has 137, and then the opposition NDC also has 137. Now, in the previous parliament, which was the 7th parliament, there was an independent MP who defected from the ruling MPP and then went into that election as an independent candidate, but then won. So now, when we came to the 8th parliament, the MPP had 137 and the NDC had 137. So it means that it's actually a hung parliament. Then you had that independent member of parliament join the MPP side. So that gave the MPP, who is the ruling party, it gave them 138 as against the opposition 137. The decision of the Speaker last week, and clearly the Speaker had pointed out that per Parliament's own standing orders, if he came to Parliament on the ticket of a political party, and then you go and stand as an independent candidate, it automatically means that you have left that political party and your seat in Parliament had to be declared vacant. And that was what the Speaker did as a last week, Thursday. The number of seats that the Speaker had declared vacant as a last week, Thursday, were 4. 3 for the ruling MPP and 1 for the opposition NDC. Technically, it means that it would have reduced the number of seats the ruling MPP has in Parliament. It reduced it by 3 and reduced that of the NDC by 1, automatically making the opposition NDC, the majority in Parliament. So that is the bone of contention. But then the ruling party in Parliament, had gone to court. And then there have been a Supreme Court ruling, which the Speaker admitted as at the session of Parliament yesterday that yes, the Speaker, he had received the ruling of the Supreme Court, and for that matter, he has suspended Parliament indefinitely. What that also means that few days, we have about 44 days to elections, and Parliament has only 3 weeks to sit and then to adjourn before the elections. There are about three or four critical bills before Parliament, and it was intended for these bills to be considered before Parliament goes. So it means that now that Parliament has been suspended indefinitely, government business is going to suffer. Certain bills that are before Parliament, certain decisions government wants to make, but then it has to be subjected to the approval of Parliament. It means that it's going to be left hanging.
Right. So, I have to ask you at this point, David, how might this dispute then affect, the relationship between the Speaker and political parties? And could it lead to further polarization or instability within the legislature?
I think that one of the things that is very important for us to know that the Speaker of Parliament is actually is actually belonged to the opposition NDC. The Speaker of Parliament was one time a member of Parliament on the ticket of the opposition NDC. Just like I've said, the 8th Parliament started on a very volatile note. Under some circumstances, there had to be a consensus between the ruling government in Parliament and the opposition and the opposition party to have a Speaker of Parliament from the opposition side, or to elect somebody from the opposition side to become the Speaker of Parliament. So in terms of the relationship between the Speaker of Parliament and the ruling government in power and the opposition, obviously the opposition is very happy, because for them, some people say that, look, the Speaker is doing the bidding of the opposition, and the Speaker is obviously doing things that would favor the opposition, and therefore the government is not happy about it, saying that, look, there's a lot of accusation, but I do not want us to go into some of these matters, because it's something which is already in court, and we await what the Supreme Court ruling will be.
Well, David, I must say thank you so much for doing this with us. You pretty much have just answered us and made it very clear what it would look like. We wait to see what the ruling will be. But once again, thank you so much, David Osabutey. He is an analyst, Africa Affairs analyst, and he joined us to give us more insight on Ghana's parliament.